Hello, my name is Abe, and welcome to Dungeon of the Endless. Or is it Endless Dungeon? Is this sponsored? This is not sponsored. Not at all. I'm not popular enough to get sponsorships. Deleze, welcome. Before I play Endless Dungeon with Mother of Zerg, I want to show you Dungeon of the Endless, because Endless Dungeon, just released, is the sequel to Dungeon of the Endless. It is a dungeon crawler with a mix of tower defense strategy built in. So to start, I'll show you one level of Dungeon of the Endless. It should take about 5 minutes. I'll edit out the incorrect resolution on the recording later. This is Dungeon of the Endless. This is your game select screen. What I like about this is that it actually gives you a little bit of story, just a hint of story in the beginning cutscene there of there's a ship, it's being attacked. This is an escape pod. You get to select your escape pod, you get to select your heroes. We're gonna start random as we just start up a run here because I'm more interested in talking to you about the game mechanics. When I talk about Dungeon of the Endless, I like to compare it to Sanctum, which is a first-person shooter tower defense game where you are involved in the defense. You are holding guns like rocket launchers or sniper rifles or grenade launchers, defending your base. I get a similar vibe out of Dungeon of the Endless, where you have heroes. We have the TF2 Doctor and then Gork the Butcher, and you have to defend your dungeon, which is really the crystal here in the ship, the crashed pod. You open doors, which is exploring the dungeon, and you sometimes find enemies. You can power up the rooms that are currently dark with middle mouse click, and it uses a resource called dust. In all of the Amplitude Studios' games, all of their Endless games, dust is a mechanic. Usually it is like a resource left over by the ancients, the Endless. In this game, that corresponds to being able to power up a room. When we walk into a room, there's going to be major module slots, which are the big one on the left, minor module slots, and we can build in these. You have industry, food, and science, which are resources. It's called the FIDS system, F-I-D-S. And we can construct in the modules things that will provide more of that resource. So this will provide me with more industry with every door that I open, +8, +2, +4. We can also, in all of the minor module slots, which are conveniently indicated for you, we can build defensive turrets, like Prisoner Prod is the most basic one. I don't have enough money. And this is the tower defense gameplay element. You have to explore the dungeon. We got 9 dust opening the door, and this is a research module where we can research things. I don't have enough research points to do that. New modules, new major modules, upgrades to your current modules, and we need to progress through the game trying to find the exit, and then we mad dash the crystal to the exit trying to get out of here. Sometimes you'll find a dead end. When you find a dead end, that's a good place to put turrets that can buff yourself over time by providing you with resources. But what I really like is the fact that you get this nice little overview here. You can see and interact with the entire map. You can see the doors, you can see your characters, you can see which rooms have things in them. The dark green is things that have constructibles in it. And there's a certain cool visual style with Dungeon of the Endless. Really neat, clean pixel art graphics on everything and animations on the characters. I love this zoom in, zoom out effect, and the map is very usable. It tells you everything that you want to know. If you go to try to build something, it'll even tell you where you can build things. So you get a planning screen here. And Sanctum does something very similar, where when you zoom out, you get to see the entire arena, all of the paths, all of your constructibles, all of your bottlenecks. And your heroes can more than handle themselves in a combat. And then the idea is that you just want to continue to explore until you find the exit, take your crystal to the exit, and then you go to the next floor. The game gets really difficult. Dungeon of the Endless. But I love this game. It's got great music, great sounds. it has lots of quality of life. Amplitude Studios is very good about making games that are visually and auditorially impressive. They have an excellence in like UI and just user-focused design. So I really like Dungeon of the Endless. I've beaten this game completely. I've beaten it on all of the escape pods, all of the hard modes. And you can just continue to open doors, try to find the exit, get out of here. There's different types of enemies. Some enemies will ignore your heroes and beeline straight for the crystal. So you have to take all of that into consideration as you're progressing in the game. Do upgrades. Neurostun is your standard like ice turret or something where you can slow down the enemies, but we can just upgrade the prisoner prod, it doesn't matter. You can control your heroes individually, and a big part of this game is using your heroes productively, like defensive positions where you have a lot of turrets being built and bottlenecks where all of the enemies have to filter in. There's a lot of strategy here. I really like this game. Now, enemies can spawn from any room that is not lit up. That's a very important part of Dungeon of the Endless. So if we just stand here, I'll build some turrets really quickly. If we just stand here, enemies can spawn in any dark room. So this is where a lot of the planning comes into play in Dungeon of the Endless, because you need to plan where your defenses are going to be, where you're gonna have bottlenecks, where you're gonna have dark rooms where enemies can spawn. So I really like that kind of strategy in this game. So that's basically the gist of Dungeon of the Endless, a fantastic, well designed game. The mechanics all work well together. It's very visually impressive, and I love this map screen. All of the data that you could ever need is just right here, and you can interact with it too. And Endless Dungeon, the sequel, was just released today. Why don't we check that out?
Yeah.
One thing that I find very interesting about Endless Dungeon, I'm gonna get the names wrong at some point. And Dungeon of the Endless and Endless Dungeon.
Yeah, definitely.
So maybe we'll just call it the second game. One thing that I find very interesting about the second game is that not only Endless Dungeon, but other games have started to go from like 2D to 3D when they go to sequels. Risk of Rain did it, Endless Dungeon's doing it. Wizard of Legend is doing it. It's going to 3D for its sequel. I think Magica did that as well at some point. But it's not something that really bothers me that much. I played a lot of Risk of Rain 2, but it can bother some people who are like, I really enjoyed the pixel graphic aesthetics of Dungeon of the Endless or something. But in general, when games go to 3D, I like it when they involve the 3D as mechanics. Like in Risk of Rain 2, the third dimension you can dodge in. In Endless Dungeon 2, the second game, or the one we're playing, there's a third dimension, but we don't get to actually move in the third dimension. It's just for aesthetic purposes. So it's just an aesthetic change, not a gameplay change, which I find very interesting.
Yeah.
How do we go? How do we do a run?
Right here.
Thank you. How do I select a character?
You need to start the run, and then you select the character.
I think we should do normal, because we are gaming professionals.
Yeah, sure.
Confirm. And the sweeper is the starting character. There's also Zed, who's a heavy gunner, and Bunker, who is I guess a tank. He's got like a shield, I think.
Yeah.
We share guns, right? Like we have to give guns to people.
Yeah, we share guns, but each character has a specific type of gun that they can use. Like there's pistols, and then there's like big guns.
So you're playing as Zed, right?
I don't know. I could.
We gotta make this decision. We gotta think carefully.
I'll pick after you pick.
You'll pick after I pick?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pick Zed in that case. I very much love the heavy hitting characters.
Yeah, I can't play my character from the beta until we get to the Garden District.
Because you played a bunch of the beta.
a bunch, as in I played like with you and then with one of my friends once.
Yeah, that's a bunch.
Yeah.
So Endless Dungeon, the sequel, the one we're playing right now, I feel like I have to say that every time, is functionally very similar to Dungeon of the Endless, the first game. You have your crystal, your dungeon heart that you have to guard. There are minor module slots that you can use to build turrets. You still have the same FIDS system where you have food, industry, science, and dust. I forget what the dust does, but we'll get to that later. And there are doors. There are a few differences. One difference is that when you open a door, that is not the trigger for a wave spawning. That is more of a time-based system. Me and Zerg here will explain it as we go. How do you open this door?
You go up to it and press E.
It's not letting me do it. Can you open the door?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, look, game was just released, and might have some bugs.
Maybe.
Let's build a. Oh my god, I got a lot of tutorials happening. Let's build a industry production. I feel like you want to get your industry sorted first.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's a major module. We can build a resource generator there. See, I can open this door just fine.
Oh, we already have a spawner.
We already have a spawner. Instead of dark rooms spawning enemies, there are dedicated enemy spawn locations. There's also a chest here, which gives us like meta currency loot, I think.
Then I got a new gun.
So this is a room that will spawn enemies, and it will spawn. Let me just look here. It will spawn bots, which are strong against light, dark, whatever that electrical symbol is, but they're weak to electrical. Light. So they're strong against light, but weak against electricity. I think that weakness, it doesn't make them take more damage, it makes them have status effects, like a stunning or something to that effect.
So if you use the elemental weakness, you get increased crit chance.
Increased critical chance.
Depending on the element, will determine what the effect is.
So, since we can only build normal turrets, I feel we should just build a few turrets. So I'm gonna fill the room with the basic turrets. You can smack the turrets to both heal them, and it also provides them with a temporary buff. That's also how you upgrade turrets. In Dungeon of the Endless 1, you would upgrade turrets through research. We can still do that here, but turrets will also upgrade just from combat. They'll get better. So let's continue. There's nothing in this room except for another thing to build. No, that's not what I wanted to build. Another industry producer will cost 10 resource. Let's go for a science producer. And there is a wave of combat that is just spawned. But the only place they can spawn from right now is this room that is the dedicated spawn location. We don't have to worry about the other directions. Everything is like powered by default, basically.
Yes, but the dust, that you'll run into a couple times on unpowered room, and that's what you use dust for.
So we might need to, turrets took a bit of a hit there. We might need to do that at some point. But we don't really need to deal with it right now.
Yes.
Now, the wave spawned not because we opened the door. When you open doors, it increases a meter right above the map. Currently it says safe. That is it's like a percentage chance that a wave is gonna spawn based off of time. So if you just stop moving and you just wait long enough, you'll get a wave. So, whereas in Dungeon of the Endless 1, you had plenty of time to plan in between doors opening, which is the wave spawning. In this game, Endless Dungeon, you need to be a little bit faster, because right now that danger meter means at any point in time there can be a bot spawn. We need to open doors, make progress, then when the next wave happens, that's when we have a moment to breathe.
Yeah, good as new.
So this is a shop. I don't remember this from the beta that we played previously, but if we wanted a gun, we could go get a gun. And it looks like there's another bot spawner here. There are multiple and the research, which is instead of having to spend time researching, the research is instant, but we do pay for it. And I think we do a wave at the same time.
Yeah, so it won't research unless you complete the wave.
Right. So we have to complete the wave, keep that safe. There are spawners here, so I think we should just put a couple of turrets down.
Yeah.
And
one thing I do want to mention that's different from the beta as well, the charge weapons, they have auto fire now. You don't have to release the trigger in order to fire it every single time.
Hopefully it also works when you're doing it multiplayer, because we had that problem where the charge weapon just wouldn't work sometimes. It just wouldn't fire.
Oh yeah, I mean that was more desync, but hopefully they've also fixed that.
Hopefully also they fixed that invisible wall that you said you ran into where you couldn't progress the game.
Also true.
So let's do some research. We have Tesla Ball. It's an electrical damage turret with high damage. EMP Blast, AoE electrical damage, or a flamethrower. What do you think, Serg? What should we get?
Flamethrower?
All right. So it'll trigger the wave. He's gonna go back to the other room. I'll stay here and whack my turrets to give him a slight buff. I've got a heavy assault weapon, so I should be able to just hopefully hold down the fire button and keep everything at bay. But in between it's like mini waves. In between the mini waves, I gotta get in here and actually upgrade the turret and repair it a little bit. My character is not good at turrets. She doesn't buff them a lot with every impact. She doesn't heal them a lot. She's more about doing the physical damage.
Yes.
So this turret, by the way, it upgraded during the combat. It is now a level 2 turret. When you research upgrades, you research the starting level of the turrets. But turrets can upgrade themselves over time. So this is now a level 2 turret. If we had level 2 turrets, we could build them, but we don't.
Yeah, it's like you can research the level 2 after you've researched level 1, and all the level 1 turrets will automatically level up to level 2, and then you'll build at level 2, but all turrets can level up by themselves without needing research.
Correct. Now, food is used for this medkit dispenser. You can construct medkits, which are shared, and they are used but with the F key. They're right here on the right side of the screen. So if I build one, now we have 2. So if we ever need a heal, we can just press F to heal. I think that just about does it as far as like explaining the basics, right?
We haven't seen the personal upgrade terminal. Well, here's the personal upgrade terminal.
Well, Zerg, since you knew what was coming up, because this is totally live and not pre-recorded commentary, why don't you tell us what the upgrade terminal has in store?
Well, the personal upgrade terminal or the upgrade station, you spend the food just like the medkit costs, but it upgrades your individual character with various different buffs. There are orange buffs, which are character specific, and white buffs that can be on any character.
So I can see, for instance, plus knockback, plus fire rate defense, and then more stunning. But this is because he was looking at it, that was his upgrades. My upgrades are healing passively, fire rate, or defense. Personally, I would probably take a fire rate upgrade, but I was stupid and I bought a medkit instead, so we're gonna have to wait a little while.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Whatever, it's only normal difficulty. So there's a chest. There can be guns that you can pick up from the chests as well. That is a spawner room, but I don't think we really need to put turrets there. Right now that we have a bottleneck here in this room, so if anything spawns down there, we can just kill it in this room.
Oop, I see dust. Oh yeah, so another thing to explain, these crates can also have stuff in them.
Mostly they just explode though. Now this will progress the game to the next area. Our little robot with the crystal will walk over here. We do not want to leave yet, because every door that we open provides resources. We want to explore everything. We can press tab, we can look at the map. I much prefer the Dungeon of the Endless map. It had a lot more character and you could like interact with it. This is a little bit more basic and gray, but it gets the job done. You can see where you are and you can see what's around. We're currently at danger, so we're probably gonna get an enemy spawn very shortly.
And of course there's a spawner in here as well.
Yeah. So let's grab the loot real quick, and then I'll probably go back.
Oh, there's no gun for you?
I can't pick it up. There we go. So I'm gonna go back and try to get to where I need to be in order to protect our crystal, because that's the most important part. The turrets do a pretty good job on their own, but they can't get it all done, and we didn't even build turrets in that one location.
Yes.
Now this...
Oh, and also our production facilities.
I'll handle it. This gun, it's a heavy weapon, so I can use it. It is a weird little, like, flame aura around me. I've used this previously. It actually does seem pretty good. I do need to get in here and give my turrets a little bit of a whack. Because it is a flame weapon, it's good against creatures. But we don't have any creature spawners. We just have bot spawners right now, so it's not going to be, like, super effective, but...
It's good against bug.
Good against... It's a bug hunt, man! Alright, there's another door. Let's do it.
Yes, there's also a meta progression to pick up for you.
A weird little purple thing.
Yes, a cell, I think it's called.
There's also weird purple screws, which I've seen. Alright, so there's one more door to open.
The purple screws are also a meta progression upgrade.
And let's upgrade really quickly. I'm gonna get a rate of fire upgrade.
Okay.
And then we will leave. I should have probably like asked if you wanted something, but I was...
No, I didn't have very good upgrades.
I actually forgot that we shared the resources, what it was.
Also fair.
So our robot will head over here very shortly. I'm just going to try to clear the way and, you know, punch some turrets and keep them upgraded. Although we're getting a little swarmed.
There's quite a few bugs.
I'm
Not
coming.
bugs, robots.
It's a bug hunt, man! Your punch ability, not only does it like repair turrets, it also does a little bit of damage.
And
But
knockback.
it's not much. It's more for like knockback. I've done a very poor job of helping Zerg here keep our robots safe, but that's okay. Health is a resource. You gotta spend it, right?
Sure.
Oh, ow.
Sure.
Okay, that was a bad one.
Yes, that's how I'll respond to that.
All right. I don't have to use the flame gun. I don't have to, you know, spend all of my health. And as this robot is opening up the door, Archernick in chat says they announced Salt and Sacrifice for Steam and the Switch, finally free of Epic Game Store exclusivity. That's the sequel? Or is that the first game? I actually don't remember. There's Salt and Sanctuary and Salt and Sacrifice. I forget which one was first, which one was second. You ever play those, Zerg?
Nope.
I played, whichever the first one is, I played that a little bit. It didn't really interest me that much though. It seemed very much just like a Souls clone, but 2D with bad platforming, and it was kind of trash. So we gained scrap, and we're in the next zone. The previous zone has been locked off. We can't go back there anymore, but it's nice because now we're just in a new place.
Now we're safe from that zone as well.
I forgot which game
But
was
we
first and
also
which was
lose our
second. Seems like a
production.
recurring theme today, says the Nor. Yep. Yeah, we do lose the production buildings that we had, but we have 60 industry right now. We should probably build some food at some point.
Maybe.
That's what it was going for, a 2D Souls clone. Yeah, but it wasn't like even a good 2D Souls clone.
Although personally, I do like having at least one industry immediately.
Yeah, but we have 60. Let's go for food.
Okay.
We spent the last zone building up our industry. Now I think we can take a little bit of time and build up. You know,
Okay.
maybe a
That's
little
fair.
bit of food. So we don't have like a good EMP turret, but we do have, you know, the regular turrets.
Yeah.
This also does show you the fire rate of the turret and then the damage it does. So the flamethrower does AoE damage. It looks like it's roughly 15 DPS per target. The straight shooter does more damage than that, but only to single targets. I do like the straight shooter. It's also cheaper.
Yes.
I'm gonna just build a few here so we don't have to really worry about this area as much. Sherbert, thank you very much for the resubscription. I've been loving Nuclear Throne on YouTube. Well, I hope you enjoy the resurgence of Throne. You can thank Nunu for that. Now, this is a bug spawner. They are weak to fire, so we should probably build some fire turrets.
Yes.
Yes.
And then also we got a steeple, and this one gives us +2 industry per door.
The steeple is just a floor modifier. Can the enemies break these?
Nope.
Perfect. So we don't have to worry about them.
Correct.
This is a big room.
Yes.
And it has a chest.
And a chest.
It looks like a legendary chest. It's more guns for me.
Plus defense with other hero when an other hero in room. And then yeah, 2 guns for you.
I'm just gonna do the wave first, and then I'll worry about whatever those are.
Yeah, sounds fine.
You can only hold 2 guns. I'm gonna have to like figure out how to actually look at my gun stats, because I also don't know how to do that. I guess like theoretically what we would want to do is let the turrets do all the work, that way they level up, but
Yeah.
that's probably unnecessary, I think.
This early is probably unnecessary, but you never know.
Oh, and characters have abilities too. So you have a Q and an R. Mine is. Gotta look at my stats. There they are. Mine is a sonic boom, powerful sonic wave damaging monsters, and death metal blasts power chords that weaken nearby monsters and boosts the heroes. And I can even look at what Zerg has. Back off and hunker. A stunning shockwave and temporary invulnerability. And we can also look at our crystal bot, and if we have upgrades, we can see what those are. Very, very handy. Well, the turrets didn't upgrade, but also nothing was destroyed.
Yes. So you got a zap gun, a Gatling gun.
Yes,
there's
and now that
also
I
this.
remembered how to look at the menu, I can also look at my guns. So the hunting rifle is a DPS of 60 with good range. The Gatling gun is actually slightly less damage, but it is auto fire. Instead of put, it's just brrr. And I do kind of like the burr. A little bit lower range though, so you know what?
I can shoot at it
Nah.
or drink it.
And then we have the, whatever this is, hold on. The Mob Zapper. Short range electrical arc gun. It's kind of just having like a lightning thrower. So I have 2 different types of close range weapons. One that's like a flame circle, one that's an electric zapper. I think that the electric zapper, it does look like it's more damage. Quite a bit more damage potentially. So why don't we take that and then we'll dump
I
the
can shoot at
fire
it or
gun.
drink it.
So I've got this and I got this.
Do I get a medal for that?
And then whatever this is, I don't know what this is. What is this?
Plus 25 defense whenever the other hero is in the room with you.
Gotcha. We'll pick it up.
I think you should have it. You have close range guns. Mainly
Depends
zap
when
gun.
other heroes. I guess this only applies to one character, huh?
Yes.
You've equipped a device. Only one device can be equipped at a time. It doesn't have like an activation on it. It is just what it is. But yeah. All right. Let's move. Camera's kind of lagging behind me a little bit though.
You're too fast.
You're too slow. All right.
Here's a locked door, which means we need to find the... I can't remember what the term for it is.
It's a key.
Yeah.
It's a locked door. We got to find the locked key.
And no, it's like an inhibitor or something like that. Some fancy name that unlocks all the red doors.
Look, you can call it whatever you want. It's a key.
Bed's here.
All right. So this room is unpowered. I think monsters can spawn from it. Maybe? Can they?
No, that's in the other game.
That's in the other game. But we can spend dust to light up the room, and then we get access to this, which is a, I think, character leveler?
No, this is the research terminal.
This is the research terminal. Well, I'll leave this decision up to user, because I don't know what would be ideal.
We do have a lot of research, so we could make use of it right now.
Well, then let's do it.
Evil has nowhere left to hide.
So you pressed C there and activated the dust, and now we can see we get Phosphor Flame, low fire damage to a single monster, EMP Blast, or Fatal Focus inflicts continuous light damage to one monster.
Interesting.
Now, I don't know if the turrets have, like, target prioritization. I know that was a thing in the first game, Dungeon of the Endless. Certain turrets would focus certain enemies, but I don't know if, you know, continuous damage will focus, like, the strongest enemy in a room or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I think Phosphor Flame is pretty good. We're about to get a wave, so might as well start this now.
Yep.
Before the wave starts.
I have a sneaking suspicion that the waves will stack up and be like even stronger and even worse when you let them stack up, but I don't know if that's actually correct. So there's my Q ability right there. It just kind of tossed out a... He's coming for me. Kind of tossed out like a...
Time for the solo. Ow.
I'm taking damage here. Tossed out like a projectile. And then my second ability is weakens monsters and boosts heroes, so it doesn't actually do direct damage itself. I'll never remember. I'll always have to look to figure it out. All right, what else do we got? Anything more to research?
We can get Tesla Ball, we can get the EMP Blast again, or we can get the Party Favors automatically refilling explosive barrel thing.
With frequency equivalent to this turret's rate of fire. Well, I don't know. What do you think?
I think
Heavy electric damage to nearby monsters with a long reload, or electric damage with a high rate of fire?
I do personally really like high rate of fire things.
Let's do it.
Okay.
You can also refresh the choice, which re-rolls it. Maybe you are looking for something specific. But, we'll take this. Ow. So, get in here, smack the turrets. They haven't upgraded yet, which is a little surprising considering that they've done a lot of work. And there's also these really annoying enemies, which are like mortars. They do a lot of damage to turrets. They do a lot of damage to you as well. Turns out that mortar back there has completely obliterated the turrets. But
Yeah.
we got them.
Recon.
Everything automatically heals at the end of a wave, which is nice. You don't have to run around and repair everything. That's a little minor gripe about the previous game, Dungeon of the Endless. You would have to constantly walk around in order to repair everything manually. You don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah. Ooh, Smokehouse was really good against the blobs in the beta, but we don't have enough science for right now.
Zapper, Amplifier, increases attack damage of heroes, crystals, and turrets in the same room, and Smokehouse inflicts acid damage to monsters in the AoE.
Guess we can just
I
continue.
should mute that sound effect, but two faults. Have a good night. Thank you for being here.
Good as new.
He's Science 1, Rocket Gun, Pistol, and Shove damage.
Anything that you're interested in?
Nope.
It works.
Yeah,
That
and I
pistol's
don't.
literally the basic pistol, so I don't care for it.
You just still you don't need anything. So
Breach.
well you need something. You need a new gun.
Eh.
So
I
this
guess.
is the character upgrader.
Yes. There's a chest in here.
So we could spend a dust getting that open.
Always looking for gear.
I think that's a gun for you.
Yes. Okay.
I'm excited to experience that change you were talking about charge weapons no longer having to charge.
Yeah.
So we should have like an electrical turret we should be able to put down here. We have Tesla
yes,
ball.
the Tesla ball.
I do love ordnance.
We can put like a Tesla ball down, and it's actually got pretty decent damage. And these are bots, so we can build one there and build one here. Just have a big Tesla room. I'd like to see these in action. All right. Now the danger is still here. Bots could spawn, so we need to just like keep making progress.
Yeah.
This is the food creator, which we don't need.
the medkit creator.
The food spender, I guess.
Yes. I guess. Okay.
All right.
Tools for our mission.
Get out of the way! Get out of the way!
Always looking for gear.
So we need to get some things built. We haven't seen any modules recently.
Yeah.
The room modules where we can actually build anything. I'm heading back up here. Oh, they have snuck through. I'm on it. You're on it. I'm on this one. Get off of my turrets.
Metal time.
I'm hearing like a thunk, 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 thunk happening.
That's
I
the
think-
artillery.
Yeah, the enemy artillery, which is just probably decimating the turrets.
Yep.
What happened? I alt-tabbed. I alt-tabbed to Discord accidentally. Because tab opens up the map and then alt is the hotkey to teleport back to the base.
Yeah.
I assume everything repairs at the end of the wave, like the resource generators.
Resource generators don't repair.
They don't repair. Well, you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
All right. There is another locked door here, but it looks like we don't even need the key for this one. We could get in from the other side.
Yep.
Sets here.
That's what it looks like. Oh, here's a crystal spot.
So we can move the crystal here. That'll allow us to open up this door. I don't know if this is like a requirement for like progression. Is it?
Probably. Depends on what's on the other side of this other white door.
Should we do this because it puts the crystal in a more defensible position?
Yes, but I don't see any reason why not to open this door since the red door will be closed still.
Okay, sounds good. I can kind of see in the room.
Dark room. Curio.
A dark room with nothing in it.
There's a curio in it, or a memento.
So where's the key? Or do we have to move the crystal in order to get
Yeah,
the key?
that's what I was thinking. The key is probably on the other side of the yellow door.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, why don't we do that?
All right, you ready?
I'm gonna really quickly
Wait, Krabby.
head up here and build
Team.
a defensive turret. And then I'm going to stick around for a little while, guard. Can you zoom out the map?
Oh no. All right, we're getting some pretty beefy things.
Yes, everything at the. You need to guard the crystal. I need to go back and
I try.
repair the turrets.
Ah, I missed.
There's some nasty things that have spawned back here. They've wiped out all of our turrets. You also have things coming up behind you, some big boys.
Okay.
Enemies get a little bit hectic. I think that is the end of the wave, though.
Yes.
I should really get like that upgrade that lets me get passive healing. I'm taking a lot of damage.
And we always have passive healing after wave end, but honestly,
So
we're
that just
taking
gives you more
damage than we're
I
healing.
gotcha. So Zerg up there, he's going to smack that turret and give it an upgrade.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, green
Now
door.
Green door?
Rock and roll.
Oh, it's just one room.
And here's the unlock.
I really thought that would be a little bit more complicated than that.
Yeah. So now we gotta go all the way around.
I gotta go all the way back. I guess we can just upgrade one later when we find a different upgrade station.
Yeah, I was thinking to save the one dust in case we need it somewhere else. Because we're not in dire need of upgrade right now.
But you can tell by playing this game that you don't have to worry so much about the like moment-to-moment strategization.
Yes. Alright, do
This
you
is
wanna...
the end, but we should open up that last remaining door.
Yes,
and then do
I
it.
also wanted to see if there's any research to grab first.
Yeah, let's do that before the door.
Yes. Sapper reduces defensive
Strategery.
monsters and increases elemental power weakness of monsters, amplifier, or smokehouse.
It might be worth waiting just so that if we find
Yeah.
one early later, we can do it more easily.
I
Because
agree.
we have 4 spawners right now. It's a little hectic.
Oh, you want to get ready at that door to call the robot there?
Ah, yes, correct. I will do that. We're at danger right now, so it is possible that a wave will spawn at any moment. So let's get this started.
Alright. Go, go, go.
So now we have to do the same thing we did previously. The robot will move from its current location. Zerg is gonna guard it, and I'm gonna make sure that nothing gets by up here, or, you know, at least hope that nothing gets by up here. But sometimes the enemies do still get through, because there's a lot of them sometimes.
Yeah.
One of those flame turrets is level 2. We still have these basic turrets here. Kind of like it when the enemies target me, because I can just run past the turrets. Oh, and we did get a turret upgrade. Just in time for us to leave. I'm just gonna hang back. The shove is sometimes helpful to just keep enemies away from you. Oh, something else I didn't even mention yet is that when you are playing the previous game, Dungeon of the Endless, you actually can't control the heroes directly. You just put them in rooms and they attack automatically. So this is, you know, this is a difference in this game where you actually get like direct control over the characters. Don't you have a Tesla gun? So I do have a Tesla gun, but it does put me at risk. If I'm at a distance, then it's less likely I'm gonna take damage. So I am using the big ol' rifle when I can. I'd much prefer to have this.
Metal time.
Risk management, welcome. Didn't realize the range. Yeah, it's super short range. The other thing I had was a Oh, that was cool. Zerg, I saw the preview of that ability you were using.
Yeah. Oh, I actually heal in this mode.
I don't. Yeah, so the other weapon that I had was like a flame gun. It also had very, very short range. Excuse me, rude. I don't know about you, Zerg, but I keep getting caught on, like, architecture.
I walked away. A lot of them didn't.
How many characters are there? 9? It kind of looked like there were 9 from the character select screen. There were 8.
Well, one of them is the randomized random character.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Voice.
So the first level has been complete. We're in the main elevator. I guess we're in like a space station. We're exploring a space station.
Completed.
Yes.
Take a breath.
Now we're going to the next area.
The next district.
Floor complete. General system failure, repel borders activated. Anti-gravity and reactor below minimum safety dust threshold. Hoist operation restricted, maximum access floor 2. Presence of giant defense units confirmed. That's why we're here. That's why we're stuck here. Well, that and the busted hoist. Let's get it to restart the reactor. I'm more than happy to get personal with whatever hostile doesn't want us here. The mysteries of this station do appear to be infinite. Why would a robot say that? Because that's obviously a lie. How can you give 110%? Regardless, our mission is the same. On to floor 2. District access denied to the security vault, but we can get to the labor colony.
Wherever I go,
I don't know what the security vault is. Is it maybe like an alternate floor?
Yes.
I don't understand some of the mechanics, and I am definitely not reading any of the tutorial pop-ups, but that's okay. I'm much more interested in the moment-to-moment gameplay.